Hello, everyone. This is the Soda Popcast. Once again, episode. I have no idea. It's been a long time. It's been really long since we've last done this.
It's episode 1 of version 2.
Episode 1 of version 2. This is now the
Reboot.
relaunched, right?
Yeah.
Now it is recorded. Because we like record. No, I'm having internet problems and I can't really stream right now. But rest assured, we should have a fun time recorded too, right? Today, as of recording, today is September 28th of 2018. You guys will probably be seeing this a week later. And not every episode will be recorded, hopefully, from the future. I like the live format, and I hope to get back to that soon. I'm just kind of waiting to see how my internet plays out. But for now, we've got a wonderful cast with us. Like I said, I am your host, Pat Nat, and today my beverage of choice is a Diet Coke, cherry Diet Coke, to be exact. And, of course, we have the usual Tom Peeler.
What up? How's it going, everybody? Glad to be back.
I'll wait for Patrick to finish drinking.
Sorry. Well, I mean, you could say more than that, Tom, if you want. You could say who you are.
I thought you were gonna throw Talon. So, glad you're editing this, aren't you? Now. Cut all this out. No, you're not. No.
It's raw,
yeah,
man.
Dude,
we keep it raw.
Has it been how long? Has it been a full year?
It's been like 6 to 8 months, I think. It's been over half a year for sure.
Right.
It feels like 40 years.
Well, you know what it is. I think you couldn't make one or two of the most recent podcasts, so maybe it was closer to a year for you. Although you're in the Star Wars one, so I don't know. I think you've only missed one podcast since.
But the last time we talked was for your charity stream. So
that's of
the last
course.
point of reference I have. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Kudos on that.
That was awesome. Yeah. There's been talk about possibly doing it again next year, but we'll see. It's still a little early. But welcome, Tom Peeler from Sycamore Street Studios, in case you guys don't know that. And then we also have Talon Stradley, the one and only.
Hello. I'm Talon Stradley from Newton's Darkroom. My beverage of choice is water, because I have a tournament coming up after this, a Magic tournament, and if I drink really sugary stuff, I get really jittery because it's late at night. And it's a competition, and I'm like, let's go. So I'm just drinking water.
You don't want to accidentally fold one of your cards because you're so jittery, right?
No, it's bad. Like, it's like such a thing. Like, it's weird. Like, if I drink water, I'm fine.
Right.
But like, I just get really into like the competitiveness of it.
Yeah.
And I'm a pretty fast player, and like, this is just a pre-release, so the people are sometimes they're learning or they're having to read cards. Right. And so, like, I'll just be waiting there, and I'm just super excited about the game, and I just get really shaky, and that's not a good image to, present whenever you're trying to pwn some noobs.
Well, right. I can even imagine just trying to, like, play the cards and seeing your hands shake and stuff like that. It's never a good feeling.
Yeah.
You'll be cool, collected,
right.
Exactly.
in the moment. Yeah.
Probably a good choice with the water. Usually, when someone doesn't bring a soda pop with them, I give them the old bottle of shame. Unfortunately, I have just now realized that is the one feature I have forgotten to re-add to my template after deleting everything. So, Tom and Talon, you guys possibly both get off scot-free this time. But I won't forget this, all right? I'm going to keep a record, okay?
Wait, are you saying that soda or that water is not a beverage?
I am stating soda is the farthest thing from the soda pop, my friend.
What if it was carbonated water?
Talon at least got...
You can't compare club soda to regular soda.
Talon at least does have his beverage. I'm over here on the East Coast at 1:20 in the morning, so I just can't do soda because I'll be up till 5 a.m. So that's why I abstain tonight. But if you want to edit a big old bottle of shame over my face, go for it, because I totally deserve it.
I do not give you permission to edit a big bottle of shame over my face.
So just one for top. Oh, you guys are going to make this fun in the editing room. Well, welcome, guys. We're going to be doing a regular Nintendo podcast. Back to our roots a bit. There has been a good amount of Nintendo news since the last podcast, obviously, because that was so long ago. I'm thinking we'll mainly focus on the more recent stuff. Exceptions may be made for big things like Smash Brothers and whatnot, stuff that people want to talk about anyway. I've kind of got a big list of stuff here. I've got like the old Direct announcements and the last Direct announcements, and of course the Smash Brothers homepage to look at this stuff. Is there anything anyone would like to kick us off with? Anything specific? Yeah?
No Metroid Prime announcements at E3 this year.
Yeah.
Nope.
And then no Metroid Prime mention at the newest Direct. Yeah. It's coming out 2018, guys. It's going to be great. I directly after the E3 podcast, or the E3 live stream, I immediately was like, okay, they're going to delay it. Like, I really didn't think... I thought maybe if there's chance of them not delaying it, it would be in the next direct, because sometimes they do that. Like Samus Returns was like announced and then like just 6 months later it came out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that it wasn't in this direct, it's kind of like, is it really 2018? I feel like it might miss the 2018 window.
I think they're gonna try and stack 2019 out a bit, because they've got Animal Crossing announced. So, like, I feel like at the beginning of every year, people are kind of initially complaining that, like, oh, this is the year the Switch won't have anything, and it's crazy that we're only 2 years into the Switch's life and people are already doing those arguments. But like, 2018 ended up having a good trail of games leading up to Smash Brothers will kind of end the year. But if you consider next year, we're going to have Animal Crossing. I think Metroid Prime would be the next big first party title to pair with that, you know? Yeah. So maybe summer or holiday 2019, you could probably see something about it.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm predicting. I just can't see it, like, it's a game that big. I can't see it coming out in 2018 without any news about it earlier. Like, because even with Metroid 2 Samus Returns, that was, you know, just a 3DS side scroller. It wasn't like Prime, you know.
Prime's the big guns. Yeah.
I am very disappointed though. I mean, like, ultimately it's gonna come out when it comes out, you know. It's just, it makes you a little disappointed that, like, hey, we're just gonna splash an image because that's gonna hype you guys so much, and we're gonna say 2018 and then not mention it ever again until 2019. Like that.
I mean, hey, the image, the title splash bait was so good from Nintendo that Bethesda copied it at E3 with Doom and the next Elder Scrolls. Here's the logo.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's kind of exciting too, though. It's about time we had another Elder Scrolls adventure.
7 years.
7 years, yeah.
Almost 7 years, yeah.
And they've released that on so many other platforms.
That's the thing. It doesn't really feel like 7 years because it feels like Skyrim will never die. It feels like it just it's living forever. It's immortal.
A long time.
Yeah. So yeah, Metroid Prime wasn't announced. I half expected it not to, but the thing is, it's Japan has always not been too fond of Metroid anyway, and I feel like, you know, they're kind of good at slipping in announcements and surprising people when stuff comes out. But you know, we'll see. It's probably not 2018, but I don't know. Who knows when it comes out?
All I know is that me and my roommate's little brother, we have a challenge to play every single Metroid game before Prime 4 comes out. Like, that's the goal. And so we're skipping a lot of the remakes, or like we're skipping the originals. So, like, instead of playing the first Metroid, we played Zero Mission, and we're doing the same thing.
That's
for
understandable, for sure.
But our goal is to play every single one. So both of us have beat Zero Mission, and I was going to start Prime, but we don't have a GameCube memory card. So currently, we got to get one of those, and then the challenge will be back on.
Do you have like a Wii or anything that can run Wii games, or Wii U or something like that?
Yeah, we have a Wii. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have Metroid Prime Trilogy?
We don't. We do not. We have all of the games except Prime Returns, I want to say.
The third one.
Samus Returns.
Samus Returns.
Sorry, Samus Returns.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think that's the one that we have to deal with. But
well, if you ever
memory card.
come across Prime Trilogy, I would definitely say pick it up, because it is, in my opinion, the far superior way to play, because the controls feel much nicer than the one stick GameCube controls. Since they don't use like dual stick, it gets kind of tough to get used to. But the Wiimote controls work surprisingly well. I know Wiimotes and controls are kind of like an oxymoron. Like, people don't like to associate those together. But I will definitely vouch for how Prime handles it. It handles it really well. But and I only say that because I actually like these last few months I've actually replayed all 3 of the Prime games on the Prime Trilogy.
Oh wow, nice.
And like I tried playing like the original. I was like, you know, I'll try playing the original again, you know, just for fun, because I've already beaten the other ones so many times. But it was just such a hard transition. Like, I felt like once I was on the Wiimote, I just couldn't go back to the one stick controls.
Okay.
It's also strange because that game came out like 2 years after Halo and maybe 1 year after Call of Duty, both of which were widely popular and used dual stick controls. But for some reason, Metroid didn't want to do that. But oh well.
When has Nintendo ever done anything that's popular though?
Yeah.
That's why we love them.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway, moving on from Metroid, if that ever comes out, that's gonna be cool. And then there's a lot of other stuff that's been talked about. Anything else that's just on that's itching your mind right now?
So a phrase that I have loaded into my reactions to anything Switch video game related now is should I wait and see if this is coming out for the Switch? Because there's so many
Right.
like particularly with indie titles, like
Yeah.
something gets announced and I'll wait long enough, and then it's like, oh, coming to the Switch.
Yeah.
A Hat in Time, the crowdfunded collectathon 3D platformer that's kind of a spiritual successor to Super Mario 64 and Banjo Kazooie, made by the company Gears for Breakfast. The original statement from them was, "We're not going to port this to a Nintendo console." But now they're coming to Switch because the Switch is the most popular thing going right now.
Right.
Yeah.
What else? The Final Fantasies that they just announced.
Yeah.
7, 9, the 10 and 10-2 HD remakes, 12. I mean,
Yeah. Civilization 6. Oh boy.
mhm.
A pass and play multiplayer. That's like, whoa. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undertale came out within the last week and a half.
Undertale's another one.
So yeah, there's this bit of me that's just like, just wait, because you might get on the Switch. So
Right. Right. Yeah. Now I guess that raises the question though, like, how many times is the Switch the superior way to play the game? Because like I know that frame rate issues are always are commonly a thing with Switch and stuff like that. I feel like a game like Civilization that would be perfect for the Switch because that's not going to have performance issues, right? I mean, I wouldn't imagine it to, and obviously, but then you got to factor in like the mobile aspect. Like, is it worth playing at 30 frames per second if you can take it with you wherever you go and stuff like that?
See, for me, the portability is the big sell.
Right.
Like,
yeah, and that's understandable.
I will make certain sacrifices to play on an airplane or play on a road
For
trip.
sure.
You know, I'm totally cool with that.
I mean, the entire history of video games on portable devices has been about making sacrifices so that you could play it on the go. I mean, like the 3DS is a little less than 480p, I'm pretty sure. But you get to play with it. You get to play Ocarina of Time wherever you go and stuff like that. And Majora's Mask.
And like,
so.
the Switch still looks really good.
Yeah.
It's still a gorgeous screen. So even
Right.
though you might not be getting the frame rate, I feel like it still feels like you're watching something really good, high
For
quality.
sure. Yeah, I agree. I've never been like a big stickler on video performance anyway, so I feel like mobility would definitely win for most of the time for me. But then there's also some games I don't picture myself playing outside my house too much, and those are the ones where I would second guess. Like, kind of like, okay, so they announced Payday 2, right? I played my fair share of that game, and like that's not really a game I'd see myself really playing on the go and stuff like that. It's not really a pause and put in pocket kind of game. It's kind of you're in it for the whole match and then you stop, or you're playing online. And I don't know exactly how the Switch's online compatibilities are going to work, mobile and stuff like that. But like for a game like that, I feel like I'd really want high performance because it's online, and I wouldn't be wanting to play on mobile anyway. So that's something I'd probably reserve for the PC. But then there's just certain games that just scream Switch. That's like perfect for taking with you on plane rides and stuff like that, and that's really cool. It's just cool that they have so many games.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the indie games that he mentioned are like such the perfect fit for that kind of thing. You know, like recently, Night in the Woods got ported.
Yeah.
I have that.
And, like,
it's
that
great.
game is awesome. I love that game. I played it on PC, but like that's the kind of game because it's not really hardcore, right? Like it's a pretty casual game. I don't know. I like the Switch. I want to get one.
I feel like just looking at the Switch as it's just crazy how much Switch is actually doing right. Like I remember like when the presentation came out and stuff like that, and seeing the stuff, I'm like, oh, it's just they're saying these features. I don't think it would work extremely well, and Nintendo's been known for having like these oversights and stuff like that. But it's just nice to see the Switch really fulfilling its potential.
And like even the stuff that they're making, like the new Mario Party looks
gosh,
with, like connecting the boards
refreshing.
and all that. Like they are nailing it.
Right. That's something that feels like a good bridge to talk about that game. If you guys are okay with that, it's kind of on my mind a bit. Did we lose Tom?
Yeah. Oh, Tom's frozen.
Tom is frozen.
Tom has perished. Rip in peace, Tom.
Rest in peace, Tom. It's so sad. Please put your F's in chat for Tom.
Click F for respect.
Yeah, just write hashtag it's been a good
run.
Hey, he's back.
Oh, okay. I was typing to you. I could hear you and both your cameras were moving.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say about a Mario Party though is that it looks good. For starters, not everyone's on one space because a lot of people didn't like that, and it looks like they listened. And
I'm so glad they dropped the car. I don't understand why they made that a thing, but yeah, having everybody explore the board on their own, that's the way to play.
Right.
Yeah.
And like from the trailer and stuff, like it looked like the boards were like a lot bigger and kind of like different directions and stuff like that. They kind of started dropping that a long time before the single card also. Like even Mario Party 7 only had like 1 or 2 stages that was where you actually like make choices on your landscape and stuff like that. But from what I've seen so far, it's looking like the maps are big and spiral out and stuff like that. It looks like just classic Mario Party, which is good.
Yeah, and I think the Switch, especially, I feel has really nailed just what Nintendo has been trying to do for the past couple of years. I mean, even going back to the Wii, you know, motion controls, awesome, introducing that, but it's criticized a lot for its weirdness or its bugginess. Right. From what I've interacted with the Switch, I mean, just the controllers feel so much better. Everything is so much smoother, even from like a traditional joystick kind of controller. It feels awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see like it. For the first time, I have seen a Mario Party game and have thought I want to play that because
that
sounds fun to just play instead of having to deal with like the weird controllers or anything.
Absolutely.
And I don't think I could say that about like PlayStation or Xbox either. Like if for somehow they got Mario Party on those systems, like I don't think I would be as excited. Just the Switch feels so perfect for what it's trying to do right now. And
like and that kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier, just how the Switch seems like the perfect system for certain games. Like even A Hat in Time, as you were saying earlier, Tom. Like that seems like the Switch is like that's the perfect platform for that. It makes me very happy that they're porting to that. It's really cool to see what the Switch has been able to do, especially because it's like when you compare it to like traditional systems, it's really strange having like not having an actual console, and except for like you put it in the dock or whatever. It's like, well, how powerful is that thing?
It's a handheld system. It's a really powerful handheld system.
It's just
like an iPad, but for gaming.
That's what's interesting. They somehow bridged that gap of like home console and portable, and I think it was a smart move because I don't think they can continue with the 3DS line very much longer, much less regular mobile platforms. With the rise of smartphones and stuff like that, this seems like the perfect move to both stay on the mobile game and the home console game.
And like
really cool.
It's not that expensive either.
No, that's the thing.
The Switch is a relatively like cheap system, even whenever you compare it to like the 3DS or that kind of thing whenever it first came out. You know, so it's like now I bought my 2DS for like $80, and that's perfect for me right now. But if I was looking to buy like a real handheld system, like the Switch is right there.
Yeah.
And it's perfect for that.
I mean, even at its store price, its original launch price was totally understandable. $450. It was like it was just the modern price. It was a little strange seeing a Nintendo console cost that much, but for a modern system and all its functionalities, it made sense. And then just by now it's only gone down, so it's the price is right for sure. Somehow I still don't have one, but the price is still right. I agree the price is right. I just don't have one. I'll get one by the end of the year. I know that for sure. Moving on. Mario Party looks good. Some of the other stuff they mentioned recently is like Luigi's Mansion 3, which kind of piques my interest.
So pumped. Pumped.
I played the original Luigi's Mansion quite a bit when I was younger, and then I also played the one that came out on 3DS, which a lot of people apparently didn't play, but it's still pretty good. I turned it on multiplayer like earlier this year. I just tried like the online. I don't know why. I was like, oh, let's just try the online, and I got in a match like really easily with a full room, which is strange. And then they have like this scare floor thing. I don't know if either of you've played it, but they have like the scare floor system where you capture all the ghosts in each floor and you keep going endlessly until you lose, and it's a fun time. It's not like it's not like you're gonna sink 60 hours into it or anything, but it's just fun. It's fun.
Nice.
And
I love Luigi's Mansion.
It's good to know it's got a healthy community still all these years after release.
Yeah, especially for such an obscure game. Of course, a lot of them were Japanese, which makes sense, but it's still it was cool that I was able to get in a match. And then also Luigi's Mansion is being remade for the 3DS, which I think is a great idea.
Really? I didn't hear that.
It was announced a while ago, but
soon.
Yeah, it's coming out pretty soon. They elaborate on it in the most recent direct also. What's kind of cool about that? What?
I'm waiting for the Pokemon Snap 3DS port. That's what I got my fingers crossed.
I don't think it's happening.
I know.
It's sad to say, but
what went wrong there?
Time has passed.
How did that never happen? How did it never come to Wii U or the 3DS? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. But yeah, they with the new Luigi's Mansion remake, they're also doing multiplayer in it, which is kind of cool. Except for this time, it's like cooperative, having 2 people run around, but not like in a short period of time like what was with the Scare Floors. So I think that's really fascinating, because I know a lot of people who have a 3DS, but still, it's it's kind of cool. But yeah, I'm excited for a remake of another Luigi's Mansion game. It should be pretty dope. One thing I noticed they haven't talked about in a long time is Pikmin, other than the Hey Pikmin game.
Yeah.
I feel like we're due for another Pikmin installment, but
and that could be something. Maybe Pikmin 3 will get remade. Or ported. Maybe like Pikmin 3.5 or 4. I don't know, but
Pikmin 3 Deluxe. This time it has all the Pikmin instead of cutting out some of them like the old one did. Yeah,
if your Pikmin wear a crown, they become Olimar Et.
It's like Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's Pikmin Ultimate, where they just have all the Pikmin. All
Everyone
your
is
favorites
here.
are back. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that'd be the best way to go about it, but what would be cool is a Pikmin 4. Oh, hey, I know that's a crazy idea, right? But Pikmin 4, not a remake, on the Switch. Whoa. That'd be pretty legit. Be pretty cool.
Trying to think real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Animal Crossing, Animal Crossing DS, Animal Crossing Wii. Is Animal Crossing Switch the 4th title in that series? Or am I missing one? Wait, I passed New Leaf, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
New Leaf.
Never mind. New Leaf was 4. Because I was gonna say, is Nintendo stacking up a year of the 4s? Metroid Prime 4, Pikmin 4, Animal Crossing 4. But my theory is dead.
Now,
Also,
are either of you guys did either of you guys play a lot of Animal Crossing?
Oh no.
That was my jam as a kid.
Okay.
My sister and I competed to see who could pay off the mortgage first, because you get the gold statue. And I came home from school one day and loaded up our village and saw a statue of her in the middle of the village, and I was like, I want to delete everything. But I didn't. She won fair and square.
So are you excited then for the new one and stuff? Do you plan on
I'm
getting
very
it?
excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's an addicting sim, lifestyle sim. I like it a lot.
How did you think of the mobile? Did you try the mobile app of?
I had it for about 2 days.
Gotcha.
I just couldn't get into it
Yeah.
for various reasons. I'd say the primary reason is that it sucked a huge amount of battery out of my phone. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's always rough.
Yeah, I've never really played Animal Crossing, but I hear people absolutely love it, and it makes me happy that at least one of the 2 most asked for games at E3 was mentioned by now, which that being Metroid Prime 4 and Animal Crossing. But yeah, so that's good. That's good. Moving down the list, obviously Isabelle is now coming to Smash, which is just crazy.
I think it's adorable.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people who were upset because they were expecting certain characters to be announced, but
Waluigi.
Okay, can we have the Waluigi talk?
Yeah,
sure.
I think Waluigi is gonna be in Smash Ultimate because it feels so impossible for him not to be there. He's been an icon of the community for years. And my theory is that they're gonna pull that out at the very last second, or even that there was such uproar at E3 that they're gonna be like, oh, we'll just add Waluigi. But at the same time, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. And that makes me so sad.
He is going to be in the game.
But he's an assistant trophy. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count. As an assist trophy. This is a hot take. I don't get the sudden explosion of Waluigi love.
The Waluigi love has always been there. The Waluigi
listen.
love has always been there.
I am never one to question the sincerity of someone's fandom. If you're into something, great. It's just, I had always assumed up until E3 of 2018 that Waluigi's status was I thought everyone just universally agreed he was the interesting but creepy side character, and that's where he was.
No, I think everybody still agrees with that.
But that's what I mean. When the controversy blew up, I was legit surprised at how much people like Kotaku and all and Polygon, they had all these articles about like why Waluigi has never gotten the love he deserved, and I'm like, I thought he's been
if
fine.
if you look like at the internet, like Waluigi has gotten a lot of love throughout. I feel like throughout, like that's something that felt very present with me, like because there was a whole thing a while back where like Waluigi has the same number of syllables as Hallelujah, so there was all these memes going around of like anytime a song said Hallelujah, they would replace it with Waluigi. It's so, like all over the internet you get stuff, and like that culture has always been there, and it's not necessarily like even a Waluigi fandom. It's just he's such an interesting character and such a silly character, and he's also like not mainstream enough that you can just totally poke fun at him. I mean, Luigi is awesome, right? I think we can all agree that Luigi is a super lovable character.
Luigi's better than Mario, I'll say it.
And so like Waluigi is just the other version of that. Like it's the exact same thing. He doesn't have his own games or that kind of thing yet, but like people like Waluigi. So, and mark my words, next year is gonna be year of the Waluigi.
So on that note, yeah. So Waluigi hasn't had a game yet. He's always been in the party games. He was the antagonist of the DDR Mario game, the Dance Dance Revolution Mario game. So like,
I want to play that.
There's a certain degree of like when I see the passion for Waluigi, it reminds me of like the attachment to Boba Fett, where it's like the character hasn't been fully fleshed out in terms of like mainstream titles, but he's just attracted people in this way.
Like, by his Waluigi should never get his own game. I'm a firm believer in that.
I don't know what it would be about, but I mean, you know.
I mean, I think what Tom was saying about like the suddenness of it was that like when Smash 4 was announced and Waluigi wasn't in it, the outrage on the internet wasn't nearly as big as it was like earlier this E3.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's built up a little bit, right? Because I feel like people started to expect Waluigi.
That's the thing,
4.
yeah.
And
people started to expect it.
Yeah, and like it wasn't like a huge thing because it's not like they felt like it was owed. But I mean, even since Smash 4, more games have come out. He's appeared even more. Internet culture has developed a love for him more. And this was like the 5th one, right? I mean, like even Smash finally put in Ridley. Like even they were acknowledging some characters that have been around for a long time that they finally said, okay, we're putting them in. And for a lot of people, Waluigi is on that list, and like he wasn't put in because Nintendo hates all of us.
I still think though that like in the case of Ridley, I think that people were more attached to that idea than they were of like Waluigi. Which is why
Ridley has also been around a lot longer.
Right, but if Ridley wasn't confirmed for the Switch one, I feel like people would talk about Waluigi like a lot less, and they would still be focused on like Ridley and stuff like that.
I actually don't think so.
No?
Because I think Waluigi just has that fun meme quality to him.
That's true. The meme has changed the game a bit.
Like it is fun to be outraged at Waluigi's non-inclusion because he's such a goofy character. He's such a side character. I think Ridley's a little bit serious, where people would have been like, "Yeah, I mean, we've been asking for that for years, and that makes sense that like he wasn't in there for whatever reasons." But like Waluigi,
I think that if Nintendo caves and gives into the Waluigi character demand, the next thing the internet's gonna do is turn all that outrage into, okay, we've been asking for Goku to be in Smash Brothers for years. Now you got to put him in there. Like,
you see, that's kind of what I was saying. Like with Ridley, you know, it's like they almost like bullied Nintendo into including Ridley, and then like if that happens with Waluigi, who knows what's going to happen next? You know, they could throw in Goku, they could throw in James Bond. You know,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you telling me that you would not want James Bond in Smash Brothers?
I know, I didn't say that.
Because Goku's like a little like iffy area, like. James Bond, like the Bond, I mean, GoldenEye was like a huge thing for the 64.
So we're saying they would be the Pierce Brosnan Bond?
Whichever one was in GoldenEye.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan. Okay.
No. Scratch that. I don't want Bond. I want Odd Job.
But when was that last 007 game that came out?
I don't know. But the one that they had was iconic.
The franchise has been kind of dormant for a couple of years now because they had this weird uneven streak where it was like the GoldenEye remake and then that 007 Legends game, which bombed completely.
Right.
I want to say Activision still owns the license, but they haven't done a tie-in game since 2012. Like when the last movie came out, there wasn't a tie-in game. So I don't know. What it's dormant. It's dormant.
Sounds about right.
I apologize for that car.
Is it a car?
There's a car. No. It's not going to stop. Okay,
let
me shut my window real quick. Oh my gosh, you guys don't have a host. What are you gonna do?
Talon, host the show.
All right, what's up, boys? It's T-Dog. You're tuning in to 98.
Oh no, Pat. So anyway,
Nintendo.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be okay if Waluigi never enters Smash, but at the same time, this is the kind of the game of fan service, right? Like they've kind of been making every fan's dream come true with this game, and I'm kind of okay with that. Usually I'm a little hesitant when it comes to fan service and stuff like that, but like this kind of game feels like the perfect game to go like, okay, just make this one for the fans. Right, well, because like the next ones, they might not have even Ridley for all we care, or for all we know. But I mean, I think they will. But like,
I want to ask a question on that note that you just brought up. Is this the last Super Smash Brothers game?
No.
No.
Could this be? Given what you just said, and I agree, they're going all out. They're fulfilling wishes. They're packing this with content. They brought everyone back. If it's not. Okay, let me just rephrase it. I don't think Nintendo would ever retire the Super Smash Brothers branding, but I think Sakurai is making this the last hurrah to say, like, I'm making this, I'm gonna deliver it, and then I'm legit washing my hands and not making another Smash Brothers game. And I think this could be the last one for a long time too. Like, the Switch is early, but I think whenever the next console comes around, they might not push a Smash until maybe like the middle of that one's lifespan, just to ride Ultimate out.
Right.
Yeah.
So
hypothetically, but
no, I think that's.
Well, I did just want to quickly say that I wouldn't be surprised if Sakurai left the scene, because he has been saying he's going to leave the scene for like the past few installments. But I think, like you said, I think the Smash Brothers series will go on. I can imagine in Sakurai's absence, they might push it harder almost. Try to kind of release it more frequently than previous installments, possibly because the series might not be as good, so they want to get it out while it's still hyped. But on the note of you saying it being like the last Smash Brothers, I could say it's possible it'll be the last universally loved Smash Brothers. I don't think it's extremely likely, but the thing is with Smash 4, that was kind of universally loved, right? Like they got that one right. Brawl wasn't really universally loved. Melee was pretty universally loved and stuff like that. How much higher can you go though? At what point do you hit that ceiling? And if Ultimate is the ultimate Smash Brothers game, it's possible we won't get another that reaches that amount of hype and that much love for and stuff. And that's just my point.
It just feels like a series finale. Like all the old favorites are going and like it's one last hurrah.
I think Smash Ultimate feels to me like the past 2 or 3 Mission Impossible and James Bond movies, right? Where like the trailer is like, it's over, they're being betrayed, this is the end, and like it's all just super dramatic, and it ends with like the theme song of that franchise plays just really slowly, where it's like, ba-da, ba-da, da-da. And it's like, okay, but dude, like you're just gonna make another one in 2 years. Like that's how I feel about this. I think the hype is there. I think that they're pushing it like this is the biggest thing that has ever been done and ever will done. And I think part of that is true. And I agree with what Tom was saying, where this could very well. I mean, they are doing this fairly early in the Switch's lifespan. They could wait until the middle or end of the next console, and I think that that's probably what they're gonna do. But I don't think that Smash is ever gonna die as long as Nintendo is still around, because that feels like one of their most consistently cultural. Because
money is another thing. Yeah,
casual people love it. Tournament people love it. Like people still play Melee and that kind of thing. Like Super Smash Brothers just has a really big pull in and of its own right, and I don't think they're ever going to get rid of that. And it could turn into something more frequent. It could turn into something really terrible. But I think they've been treating it right, and I think that Ultimate is going to be kind of the end of this era of Smash, if you will.
It could be. Yeah, I'd say that's very possible, because it really does just have everything. And how do you add on to everything? You can't add more.
And like it sounds like they're going back to a competitive edge. Like for me, Smash 4 was cool. It was fun, but it didn't have that same kind of like fast pace or some of those tech stuff that like I mean, even Brawl had to a degree. So for me, like I like Melee's fun, but I really love Project M. That's like how I play Smash. Sure. And I feel like the Switch edition of that is going to kind of rebring a little bit of that re-bring a little bit of that mentality back while keeping
Right.
just everything that everyone loves, because everyone is here,
Yeah.
like ice climbers. Oh, ooh.
Yeah. Oh man, Ice
Snake,
Climbers,
baby.
man.
Yeah.
Snake too. Oh my, that was a shocker. Like I would have never guessed, like when they announced Smash Bros, that Snake was going to be there, and they knew that too, because once they showed him, that's when they said everyone is back, and you're like, oh my word, are you bringing back Young Link, in addition to Toon Link and Pichu and all those like, whoa,
Oh god,
it's crazy.
you too.
Yeah, it is the ultimate Smash Bros. I think you said it well, Talon, saying that it might be like the end of an era a bit. I feel like any Smash Brothers that comes after this, it's going to be different. And
It's gonna be a reboot.
Possibly a reboot.
Yeah.
Like,
Possibly
kind of
that Melee
along those
reboot
lines.
finally. The Melee reboot thing though has always puzzled me, because I can't see them staying true enough. It's hard to see them. It's okay. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's hard to see them keep exactly what people like about Melee enough to make them play this game instead of Melee, and like ignoring kind of like the technical problems that Melee has.
People just want Melee, and those people should.
That's the thing. They should just play Melee. They should just play Melee.
But
So
I-
that whole thing's kind of puzzled me. I feel like they
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
even
feel
want an HD remake. They'd be like, oh, the hitboxes are harder to see now, and we just want the regular play or whatever.
I think that the fast pace of Melee is what I really like. Like, let my characters fall a little bit faster.
Right,
And
and
that's one of the biggest
Ultimate
criticisms
kind of looks
of
like
even
that,
Brawl.
right? Ultimate looks a
Exactly.
lot. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Ultimate might
yeah.
actually be the Ultimate Smash Brothers game, which is pretty
So I'm
cool.
hoping. And like, again, I really love this Switch controller.
Right.
Like, I grew up on Melee, GameCube controller. Like, that's how I play Smash. But I could actually see myself playing Smash on a Switch controller.
The
And that's
Pro
something I
controller,
couldn't
like-
say for the Wii U. That's not something I could say for the Wii, definitely. So
Definitely
like,
the Wii, yeah.
this just
No,
feels
no.
like the system. It's sleek enough. It's portable enough. It's gorgeous
Oh,
enough. The
portable,
controllers
man.
are all there. That like this. I mean, this could be just
Yeah,
Smash
just
for the
Smash.
next 10 years.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like its legacy could live on for like 10 years, just by how much stuff they've announced and how much it seems like they're going to do right. Like,
Yeah.
if they can nail the competitive market just like Melee nailed it, then this like you said is going to be Smash, and then stuff that comes after
Yeah.
that is just going to be different kind of Smash, right?
And like the competitive market will be there either way.
Yeah.
Like Smash 4 is still one of the most like
Right,
is still
right,
played a
for
lot.
sure.
So it's
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
whatever the most iteration is going to be, there's going to be tournaments there.
Yeah.
But I think that with the move, from what little I've seen, and I'm not a huge tech guy, like I don't know everything about that, but from what I've seen is that the fact that they're even thinking about that kind of stuff, and that at E3 they were like, hey, here's a super weird tech thing that we're bringing back.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a draw for those people, and hopefully make it a really awesome
Hopefully, yeah.
scene instead of like a casual tournament,
Right.
like I feel like 4 is seen as.
So now I don't want to stay on Smash Brothers forever, but there is a question I want to ask with regards to all this. After this game comes out, do you guys think the Wii U version will still have a strong following, and if so, for how long?
I think it's going to retain a fan base, as Talon said, like maybe particularly in the competitive community, because like Melee still gets major playage in tournaments that allow Project M. So
Yeah.
I think Melee's mechanics are going to be considered different enough that you'll see like booths where it's like, here's where we can play Wii U, as long as people like,
Yeah.
provide it.
Right.
I can't, like, I mean, I don't know. I can't really. I'm curious to see when Nintendo's going to shut down the online servers
That's
for
a
Wii U games.
big question. Big question.
Funnily enough, while we're on the topic of Smash Brothers, today, September 28th, Sony announced they were shutting the servers off for PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. They're shutting the servers for that off in a month. So that's something I mean. Like the Wii U version, I think will live competitively maybe for a while, but like in general, it'll live as long as Nintendo keeps it on. And with Smash Ultimate out, I don't see how long they'll keep those servers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think a big hindrance also is just the Wii U sales and stuff like that, and how little people actually own a Wii U. Well, a lot of people own Switches already, so it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be an interesting few years for Smash for sure. I'm excited to see what happens. Ultimate looks outstanding. I can't wait to play it. Ridley's still too big, but it's pretty cool that he's there. And
we'll get Waluigi's
Dark
DLC
Samus,
later.
hello.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. I'm still a little bummed that it's an Echo Fighter, just because that seems like the cliche move, and because I know Dark Samus so well, I know they could have not. But either way, hey, new character, it's gonna be cool, right? I look forward to that.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to some other stuff. I'm looking through the list to see if there's any big things. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming to the Switch, like City Skylines, which is gonna be pretty cool. A lot of board games, which is kind of cool. Catan, that's exciting.
I'm really excited for that. I think I'm really excited to see how they deploy Catan, what that's going to look like, how that's going to work. Very cool with that.
Yeah, very, and just other board games in general. The fact that they're going to have like a board game engine and stuff like that, the Switch is a great thing for board games. Being able to take them with you where you go. Like iPads and stuff have been doing that for a while, but having an actual controller instead of like touchscreen controls and stuff, I feel like that's going to help a lot. I know it wouldn't seem like that's too important for a board game, but sometimes just tapping the screen gets annoying, and you wanna feel something when you're playing a game, and I feel like the Switch is gonna be fun for that, especially for multiplayer. Instead of taking over a giant box full of board game stuff that you have to set up later, you could just take your Switch, play a game.
Boom.
That's great.
Switch will never replace the concrete board game thing. I think it's gonna tap into a new market, but it's this by golly, this isn't gonna replace nice old cards in hand.
Here's the deal with the board game community. It got a little bigger in the 2000s, and then it's been like pretty much stagnant. It's not going down, it's not going up. I'm kind of convinced the board game community will never be altered. It's going to be a straight line forever, because you don't really hear about them too much online, but you know what the board games are, and you've played them a couple times, and there's always a fan base for them. I feel like it's one of those communities that never skyrockets and then never like goes down. It's just a straight line. Like it's been the same people for the last 10 years or something, and no one's leaving and no one's entering. But I feel like board games have been around forever, and they will be around forever. I'm not sure if they'll ever be as mainstream as like video games and movies and stuff like that.
Right.
But board games might be something that makes the board gaming community bigger by. And it kind of has already little bit, because like we've seen a lot of electronic board games doing really well, like Hearthstone and stuff like that, even just regular card games online and stuff like that. It's kind of weird how that worked out so well, like turning that into a digital form, but it's still, you have the visuals of like picking up cards and stuff like that. It's kind of strange, but it's really cool that it picked off as much, and I'm very excited to play board games on the Switch for sure. That's going to be pretty legit.
Is Hearthstone on the Switch at all?
I don't think so.
I mean, Blizzard's bringing Diablo to the Switch.
That's true.
Maybe that could be a beginning of a good relationship with Blizzard.
Could be. Yeah.
Like that feels like another game that would be perfect for the Switch.
Right. Do you play Hearthstone, Talon? You seem like someone who.
Yeah, I'm pretty casual about it, but
Gotcha.
I do play.
Okay. I haven't tried it yet.
I can play it wherever. Like that's something that Magic has. And granted, Magic is a much more complex game. I think Magic is a better game by far. Right. But Hearthstone just has like the weird random things, like they have one card that you put it in your deck, and then at the start of each game you get a random deck basically. And it's like you can't do that kind of thing in Magic. So I like that random aspect of it, but it's hard for me to take Hearthstone seriously.
Yeah.
But I really do enjoy it. I play it like every morning basically as I eat breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you like you say you play it casual, do you play it like without like buying packs, or do you like how do you address
bought
that?
the starter pack thing for $5.
Okay.
And I generally don't have a huge issue with like a little purchase, because if I play the game enough, like
for sure
I'll throw them.
Well, it's also free. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the game is so much free. The way that I play it is they have this thing called Arena, which you're basically crafting a deck from scratch using the cards right. So you get 3 cards, you pick one, you get another set of 3 cards, you pick one, and you do that until you have a whole deck.
Right.
And in Magic, I really love limited formats, where you could along those same 4 lines. So that just drew my attention to that. So I pretty much only play that, and because I only play like 1 or 2 matches during breakfast, I normally don't even finish an arena run, right? Because once you get 3 losses with that deck, you start over. And so because of that, I just kind of accumulate gold, because I'm getting more gold from the quests and from the arena runs than I'm spending. So I have like over 3,000 gold right now, because basically all I do is play like one run a week kind of thing.
So you're pretty set with like cards and stuff like that. Then you got a good thing going to get
Roughly, yeah. Like, I'll
Yeah.
normally build one standard deck per, like, set release, right?
Gotcha,
So a new
yeah.
set comes out, and it's like, oh, this deck looks fun, and I'll build that, and I'll play it until the rotation or until another set comes out, and then I'll kind of upgrade. Because at that point, I've collected enough cards from the arena run that I can generally just craft it. But I'm never, like, grinding ranked or anything, or I'm never, like, having a whole bunch of standard decks. Like, I play arena, have the one standard deck, and then that's about it.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
Yeah. Digital card games are one of those things I need to get into sometime because I feel like I'd really enjoy it. I haven't really found a good opportunity. I'd kind of prefer.
Hearthstone's a great place to start.
Yeah, I might try Hearthstone. They had like the Pokemon trading card game on digital form, and I thought the interface of that was great. I loved.
Did they ever release that for Android?
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know.
Was it ever on Apple?
I thought it was just an iOS for the Pokemon
Oh,
trading
I was
card
referring to a computer game. It
desktop.
might be on iOS also, though. An iOS would be
I
a
don't
perfect
think so.
system for it. But
No, it's pretty
No,
awesome.
no,
Like,
yeah.
I played that too. What I liked about that is you could, whenever you bought a pack in real life, like you got
Yeah,
a pack.
that's
of
the
in-game
thing.
Stuff.
you could
That
you
was pretty cool.
like yeah. So there was this time where I was still getting Pokemon cards, and then I would just punch in the code. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I can get this stuff. The
Yeah.
problem with Pokemon cards though is that it just has such a steep damage increase that like all the
Yeah.
new cards just get like better and better and better, and so you really have to like stay on top of the game and constantly get new cards to.
No
be-
Pokemon trading card
competitive
game
scene.
on the Google Store.
Oh,
Oh, that's a shame.
I know. One thing of note is that Magic the Gathering is also working on something called MTG Arena, and that is basically like Hearthstone for Magic, where it's like it's a computer program. They already have Magic Online, but it just doesn't look good. It's really buggy. This isn't focused on having every single Magic card ever, but it's focused about having the stuff on standard going forward,
Right.
and that is meant to kind of bring in that audience a little bit and offer like people the opportunity. It's going to be on Mac. Like Magic Online was never on Mac, so they're kind of branching into that. I think it just went into open beta like a couple days ago or something. So
Okay.
Gotcha.
that might be another good opportunity to hop in on.
Yeah. Sure.
Nice.
Sure. Props to Magic for being around for so long. That's crazy.
Yeah, 20 years or so, and they're
Yeah.
still going pretty strong. They have
Mhm.
their ups and downs, but like
A
as a
strong
whole, they're
following.
cruising. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but board games to Switch, that's gonna be pretty cool. Another thing that was announced, I feel like might be a good topic, is the new Super Mario Bros. U gets the deluxe treatment.
Hey.
So new Super Mario Bros. U, that's I mean, I wouldn't say it's like a punching bag, but it's certainly a game a lot of people were like, okay, we're kind of over this. When it came out, and kind of after it had that reception of just being another Mario game. Now, with its deluxe form, they are including Super Luigi Wii U. So hey, because that
Yay.
makes it a
Yes,
whole new
please.
experience. What
I'm
are
just
your
waiting for
guys'
Super
thoughts?
Waluigi.
What? Oh yeah, Waluigi. What are you guys' thoughts of them re-releasing this game? Like, does that something that interests you at all?
I feel like Mario games as a whole have not interested me a ton. Like, I respect them
Yeah.
as platformers. I think that they're awesome.
Mhm.
But I also feel like once you've played one, you've kind of played them all. Especially like with the Super Mario Brothers like specific titles.
Specifically that, yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. See, I don't have a ton of interest. I think the new Super Mario Brothers series got kind of stale and repetitive,
I agree.
and even when you're bundling two games together, I'm nothing about it catches my eye. I would personally want a 3D World port.
Yeah,
over
that
on
would
the
be really
Switch.
cool.
I had a
love
lot
that
of
game.
more fun with that than I did with Super U.
For sure.
So, no, not totally interested. Are we interested in talking about what Peachette has done to the internet?
Probably not. I mean, this will be a week from now. The internet moves so quickly, people aren't going to remember that.
I
But
can't think of a world in which we've passed Bowsette and
Look,
just left it
All
behind.
I'm saying is that I will not rest until Bowsette is in Smash Ultimate.
great.
I just want to play a
Sakurai's
game
just
where
like, oh my gosh.
Waluigi and Bowsette can just smack each other in the face back and forth for a half an hour. That's all
Guys,
I want.
next week when this launches, we're going to kick ourselves for not talking about Waluigi yet. I'm just saying.
Oh my gosh. It's definitely
That's what's going to
coming.
be.
So, the Mario games. It's kind of. Did I lose you guys? Your audio.
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
Hello?
okay. Sorry. The weird thing with the Mario games is like they've kind of almost already felt like deluxe editions after each other. Like every installment kind of just feels like a deluxe edition. It has new levels, but it's the same game more or less for the past few installments, and it's kind of weird that they are now making a deluxe of a game that's been essentially remade over and over again, but now they're like, now this one's a remake. Now this one is, this is actually the same exact levels that you guys have already played. So it really is like the same game. I feel like out of every deluxe, I think it's pretty easy to say this is the least interesting one because, like the Smash Brothers Deluxe, it like adds, all those characters and stuff like that. That's a new game, really.
Yeah.
Splatoon Deluxe, or was that just Splatoon 2? More content, more weapons. They're constantly updating that game to this day. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that game looks wicked awesome. Just adding the battle mode that everyone wanted and all the DLC to it. Like, they just handled all those so perfectly. And then I see like this deluxe thing, I'm just like, who is this for? Like, I have a hard time seeing. I mean, I know it's for the casual audience, but with respect to the hardcore audience, is anyone really excited for this game? I mean, it's just been done so much.
Yeah. Tom lost audio. I'll bring that up in case you didn't tell.
Oh, sorry. Discord puts me on streamer mode, which makes it so I can't see notifications. Sorry about that, pal. So Mario's coming out, and I'm not very excited for it. And I think it's weird that it's like getting the Mario Party syndrome, especially because like as a standalone game, when it's not like consecutively after each other, it's it's fine. It's a platformer that works, and it's got cool power ups and stuff like that. It's it's fun. It's just the port of that game just felt so weird to me. Because, no one really liked that game that much. But anyway, yeah. I just thought I'd bring that up. Moving on, we could now... there's another interesting thing. Probably one more interesting thing to bring up. Mega Man 11 is coming to the Switch. Now, Tom, I know you're a big Mega Man fan, right? Or
I enjoy the Mega Man series, yeah.
Yeah. All right, how do you feel about 11 coming out?
I played the demo, and it was fun, like very accessible. I like the new mechanics. There's one that lets you slow down time for a bit, and then there's one that also lets you increase the power of your shots, but they deplete a meter pretty quickly, so it's not like you can spam them forever. But timing them together in unique ways has benefits in some of the puzzles and levels. So it was fun to kind of experiment with that. I think it's going to be really interesting. It looks gorgeous. I'm glad that Capcom is giving Mega Man some. Excuse me. I'm glad that Capcom is actually giving Mega Man some love finally.
Right.
And just hope it's good. I mean, Mega Man deserves it.
Now, sorry, go for it.
Oh, I feel like recently Capcom has had a pretty good track record with Mega Man games. I just got into the series like a couple of weeks ago. I just downloaded Mega Man 6 on my 3DS.
Okay.
That's what I consider getting into the series. But
gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, and I like watched a bunch of videos of like what people recommended to start with, and it seemed like a lot of people were really loving like Mega Man 10, Mega Man 11, or I guess Mega Man 11 isn't out yet, but are they porting it over to the Switch?
I don't believe as of this date it's been released, but the demo is out on the Switch.
Okay. Yeah, so I just feel like they've been doing good so far and they seem to be on the right track. I have enough faith with them going forward that this will be a good one.
Now, I haven't really played the Mega Man games too much. I played X a lot, and I loved Mega Man X, but I was under the impression that like the latter installments of the game kind of left Mega Man in an interesting place, that being like 8, 9, and 10. And I was curious what you thought of that, Tom, after playing the demo. If it kind of feels like it's doing the same thing as them, or if it kind of just feels like back to the roots.
No, I think it's doing new stuff. It's doing the old stuff with enough new layers that I think it's going to be interesting to people. What I did play of 9 and 10 felt like they were just going back to the retro formula, not just with the graphics, but just with the increased difficulty and the style of puzzles and the cut types of enemies. With this one, I think they're really trying to think outside the box and say, how does this formula work in a 2018 arena? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. I also just realized, I think I was thinking of Mega Man X 7 and 6. Is that what I'm thinking of that kind of left it in a bleak area?
So yeah, the X franchise is different in that it goes different places and they have different mechanics and play styles.
Yeah.
I like the X series. Honestly, only played 1 and 2. So
okay.
I'm way behind on that one.
Okay. I think maybe Mega Man 7, that was a long time ago, right? That wasn't a 3D game.
90s-ish.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah.
Well,
sorry. I was thinking of like the X series. I heard it had a troubling end, but maybe the regular Mega Man series has been a good run.
I mean, if you want a Mega Man series that had the most troubling end, it's Legends, which the last full Legends game that came out ended on a cliffhanger, and then Mega Man Legends 3 got canceled. So we're never wrapping that storyline up.
Oh man, when a Mega Man game gets canceled, and then there was something like Mighty Number 9. Was that like what was the story behind that again?
Mighty Number 9 was a crowdfunded game from the creator of Mega Man, which he produced after he left Capcom with some bitterness. And it was like, hey, it's all the same stuff. I'm just calling it different things.
Right.
But the game was in development for forever. They kept crowdfunding after they already hit their goal for like new stuff. And then the final game was bad. So
man,
it turned a lot of people off toward
Gotcha.
it. Like the concept of crowdfunding major people's games. It's like,
man, it's a sad story that's been told multiple times with different games. Ukulele kind of had the same issue.
Yeah.
Now, I still like Ukulele all right, but like, it's like depressing just hearing about like all the stuff it went through, and then all the people who wanted it to happen, and then it just didn't happen the way they wanted it to. But yeah, hey, at least sometimes it works with like Shovel Knight and A Hat in Time, and they get spectacular reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, Mega Man 11's coming out. It's pretty cool that the demo's on Switch. I've got a question though. Is it a good demo?
Yeah, it's basically a full level. You get
that's good.
Like everything up to the boss, and then
that's really good. I like that, because like I know Nintendo has like a track record of doing like terrible demos. Like if you download a demo on like the Wii U or 3DS, they'll be like, okay, you have like 30 chances to play this game, because I'm gonna play a demo, 30 times and stuff like that. And they do all this weird. Like I got the Star Fox Zero demo earlier, because that's still a game I haven't gotten to try, and I know it didn't get the best reviews, but I feel like if I could get good with the controls, I could like it more. So I was just trying it out, and like literally all you do is go through the how to play, and I was like, that's not a demo. I can read that in the back of the box,
Yeah.
And then like a lot of other demos that were just so underwhelming. And they rub it in your face. They're like, okay, you have 19 uses for me. I'm like, I am not going to play a demo 19 times. And if I play it 20 times instead of 19, is that going to make me take from your profits of the actual game? Because I played a demo 20 times instead. I don't know. It's something ridiculous.
He's playing it a 21st time. Code Red.
He's not actually getting the game. He just wants to play the demo. So that's just...
You know what game had a really, really awesome demo?
Shoot me.
Resident Evil Revelations.
Okay.
The 3DS. Okay, so there's a lot of characters that you play throughout the game, but like two main characters, right? They're kind of a team, and you always play as like Jill, I think, and then Parker just kind of follows behind you the whole game, right? But the demo, at a certain point in the game, they get separated and like locked in two different rooms, right? So in that game, you play as Jill, who is, and you escape the room, right? Like you shoot the zombie in the head, you get the key, like it's a little puzzle kind of part. And then the demo is that same situation, but from Parker's side. Because in the game, Parker got stolen. And so then whenever you're playing the full game, you can actually walk by and like see the room that Parker was in.
Yeah,
like
great.
It's straight
Very
up like
cool.
the room.
Very
and like,
cool.
The thing that you unscrewed in the demo is all unscrewed. So that's
great.
One of my favorite game demos. I played it a lot because I was really hyped for that game. And like, it's the kind of demo that if you've played the actual game, heck, play the demo.
It's more content.
Cool.
Yeah. That's actually that's really
well
legit. I liked how like that reminds me of like Portal 2 and stuff, like having like the multiplayer mode like connect with the single player mode in different ways, and you get two different experiences if you play them. Another good demo is like the Smash Brothers for 3DS demo was pretty cool, because just because it was Smash Brothers, but it came with like 5 different characters, and you just could play as many matches as you want, which was pretty cool. You had to have items on. You only had one stage, but it wasn't like restricted to one level, just because that's the way Smash Brothers is formatted. It's not a level format. So I played that one to death, played that demo like so much. But yeah. So, also Metroid Prime 2 Echoes came with like a demo disc in like some Metroid Prime copies and stuff.
That's right.
And that was a pretty good demo. That one had a decent amount of gameplay. It was also gameplay that's not, it was similar, but it's not exactly from the game. And you like start off with like all this ammunition and stuff you don't start off in the actual game because they just want you to have fun with it and stuff. So it's really cool. But yeah. So that was a brief discussion on demos. I think we're gonna wrap it up around here. But thank you guys for watching the Soda Popcast. What I think we should do now is give everyone an opportunity to talk about themselves and what they're doing, starting with the one, the only Tom Peeler from Sycamore Street Studios.
Hey, so I just wanted to say thanks for having me on and thanks for bringing this back. It's a lot of fun, just like we had back in the day. Yes, I am from Sycamore Street Studios, but I had to plug something different today. My longtime best friend Josh and I have started a gaming podcast, kind of a retro review podcast called A Cast to the Past. And what the gimmick of this podcast is that it's a bi-weekly show where we pick one game that's at least 4 years old and we just talk about its history. We do kind of like a run through of like the plot, and then we talk about its legacy. Our pilot episode was on Playdead Games Limbo. So we broke down how that game was developed, the impact it had, because it was part of the first Xbox Summer of Arcade, so that was like a big deal, and the legacy it's had up until 2018. And going forward, that's how we're going to approach titles. So search A Cast to the Past. It's on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, and just if you want some good retro gaming content, we got it for you.
There you go.
That's awesome.
You know, it's interesting. I've recently got a follow from that account, and I was thinking like, oh, it's just probably a bot, because like. Or not a bot, but someone who's just trying to advertise, by following. Like they follow someone and then they get, they look at your Twitter. So I was just like, well, get out of here. And then it started liking some of my tweets. I was like, wait, is this an active account and stuff? I didn't realize that was your podcast. That makes more sense now. I'll definitely make sure to check that out.
Don't worry, we are not hollow follows. We share the love.
Gotcha. And then Talon Stradley, what do you got going on?
So I got Newton's Dark Room going on, which for those who don't know is basically a fictional artist collective. I think, since we last talked, I have put out 4 EPs.
Nice.
So you can find that on Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp. So we have Pepnia, Crash, Eat a Rainbow, and Went Away. And all of those are different genres. Some of them are more like alt-rocky with a lot of storytelling elements. Some of them are more experimental with a lot of like looping weird vocals. One of them is I had a friend stay with me, and we just recorded 4 of her songs. So that's just ukulele, singer-songwriter kind of stuff. But we got that. And then you can check out the Newton's Dark Room Presents podcast, which talks a little bit about kind of the backstory of this fictional artist collective. You can hear about giant cosmic space beings who play marbles and artists who write on clouds and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at Newton's Dark Room, and check out the Newton's Dark Room website at newtonsdarkroom.com, because there's some hidden content on there that I don't think anybody has found yet. So there you go. Explore a little bit, find out.
Hang on, smashing my browser button. That's where you can find Newton's Dark Room. Make sure you guys spam the links in chat so that everyone can find it. Wait a second. This is pre-recorded. Hopefully, it'll be back in live by the next podcast. We'll try to get it situated. Also, next podcast, it's gonna be something special. All right, I can tell you guys that much right now. No spoilers yet, but you're gonna want to tune into the next one. Okay, I got some stuff up in my mind. As for myself, I'm sorry. Go for what? What's it?
I was gonna say, this is not a bit. He didn't even tell us what's going on. So
I didn't even tell them what's going on. I was going to tell you guys before we started, and then I forgot. But I'll be talking to you guys. Don't worry. It's gonna be a fun podcast. It's gonna be a bit of a game. I'll say that. Kind of a game. Okay. So anyway, I have. I'm working on a video on my main channel right now on the Metroid Prime games. I have no idea when that's going to come out. But if you want some more recent stuff, I'm uploading twice a week on my PatNat Games channel as of right now, and we just got regular Cake Core SMP stuff going on. We have a new season, which means new world and new people and new fun, right? Lots of new fun. So make sure you check out that if you would like to, and then of course you can follow me on Twitter if you would like to know more about any of the stuff that I have mentioned thus far. And also, got a Four Swords Adventures 4-player Let's Play coming up at some point.
Ooh,
Whoa, what?
nice.
That's going to be crazy. It's not going to be for a while, but make sure you tune in, keep your eyes peeled for that. Okay, that's all I got for now. Thank you to my wonderful guests for joining me, and I'll see you guys on probably the 26th of October, assuming I can actually keep the streak going for a bit. Thanks for returning, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
Of course.
So
Take
long.
care, everybody. Bye bye.